Hello, everybody. This is Kyrix, and I'm here to talk about my Patreon account because I have one. As you may or may not know, I'm on a very tight income, so getting stuff for gaming is kind of tricky sometimes. Like, I might have to save up for a month or allot money for like a month in advance. Like, ooh, I want to get this game. It's $10. This makes such a great Let's Play, etc. And it's kind of sad in my case that I have to account for something like a little $10 purchase that most people wouldn't think twice about. I have to finagle around in order to not go broke that month. So I had options. I could monetize, but if I monetize, then, well, you end up getting ads all over your videos. Like you're engrossed in the Let's Play, and then suddenly, boom, commercial. Because my videos are long. I tend to have anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half. They can fit a lot of commercials in there, and they will. And that's not fair to you. And of course, you can use ad block, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of monetizing in the first place. But with a Patreon account, those of you who want to help me out and support me can, and the rest of you are free to watch and enjoy, you know? I will say that every cent I make on Patreon will go towards stuff for this channel. It's not going to be like, oh, well, crap, I just got my Patreon check in. I'm going to go to the store and get some food, or I'm going to go to friggin' Disney World or something. No, it's all going towards gaming stuff. And I'm prioritizing right now. I need to get 4 Sony brand PlayStation 3 controls, the wireless kind, because the wires will get tangled up if I get the wired ones. Plus, I have a bad thing with cords. I tend to break them lately. And I could just get generics, but I have generics and they have a whole slew of problems. Like, one of my generics has no battery life to it. It just shuts down after maybe an hour or so of playing, so I can't do long marathon sessions and get a lot done with it. The other one shuts off after about 5 to 10 minutes of nothing happening. And there are some games, one in particular, that I wanted to do with a friend, where it will not move diagonally at all. So there's problems with inputs and whatnot, so I need the controllers. And why I need 5 is because there's a big project I have in the works. I'm sorry, did I say 5? I meant 4. I need 4 because there's a big project I have in the works that's a 4-player co-op. And it's all in my room, and we all need working controllers for it to work. The next step is to get microphones, preferably headset microphones, that will link up with my XSplit so that we don't have to crowd around the laptop anymore. Because the speaker's in my laptop, or the microphone is rather, and we literally have to sit friggin' hip to hip in order to all see the screen and be heard. And that's awkward when you have 4 guys. And it's also awkward if you need elbow room or whatever for your controllers, because sometimes you end up pushing buttons can twitch muscles in your elbow for some reason. I don't know why that works, but I'm sure it's an anatomy thing. Beyond that, next goal would be to get a 3DS capture card so I can start opening up a whole new slew of games, like a blind run of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Gates of Infinity, which I haven't touched. I have the ability to get it, but I'm not going to because that's going to be a blind run. I'm saving it for the internet. I have a Transformers Prime DS game, or 3DS game rather. I own Pokemon Y, and I can borrow X from a friend, and I have Bravely Default. Plus, I'm going to be getting the new Pokemon's Alpha and Omega, the Ruby and Sapphire remakes. And there are other 3DS games I can do, but I can't because there's no way to get them on here. There's no emulator that I'm aware of, and a capture card is ridiculously expensive. Beyond that, there are things like just getting new games in general. If something breaks down, get it replaced. Or if my bill's coming up for my XSplit, which is renewed every 3 months, I can pay that off or pay off my whatever, GameFly for the month so I can keep renting games for all of you. But everything I make on Patreon, if I make anything at all, will go directly towards improving this channel, either through new hardware to make things work better, to new games to show off, to microphones, whatever, to paying for my recording software. And if this takes off and I end up making a lot, which I don't think I'd make that much, but if, let's just put this miracle situation in there that I actually make a lot of money off of this, a new computer that can actually stream and actually power through online streams and whatnot, so I can put out even better quality stuff. So yeah, those are the goals. Those are my short and long-term goals for what Patreon can do. Let's talk rewards. I can't do much because I'm not really able to set up streams very well. I'm not a Google Hangouts person, and I'm still new to the whole, let's just say, tweaking of YouTube. So basically, I'm doing this by the month, so if the numbers seem high, keep in mind, this is a month's worth of stuff. It's not like, oh, if you pledge $50 a video. No. At the rate I put out videos, it's just kind of unrealistic to expect someone to pay out that much, to be able to pay more than $1 or $2 at a time. And even so, let's say you subscribe to me on YouTube because you really love my Resident Evil Let's Plays, and you're not a big fan of the rest of my stuff. Well, Resident Evil might comprise 1 to 2 videos I have a week, if that, and there might be some months where I don't put any up at all because I don't have any more to do. It's unfair to make you pay for those other 6 projects that are going on when all you want to do is sponsor the Resident Evil one. That way you can just pay a monthly thing like, oh, well, he's putting out 4 Resident Evil videos a week or a month. That's worth like $5, you know? So that's why I'm on a monthly and not a weekly, because I just spam out so much content that it adds up real quick. At least at the month you know exactly what you're giving out at any given time. Although Patreon does let you set a maximum amount, so it's not like, oh, I'm going to pledge $2 a day for, or $2 per video for Kyrix, and oh my god, I owe him $80, you know? No, if it's I pledge $2 a project up to 36, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's just easier, I think, for everyone involved if it's a monthly thing. If anyone does donate to me via Patreon and you'd rather do it by the project, if enough people say it, then I'll do it by the project. But that seems kind of strange to me that that would be asked for, but the option is there. Rewards. I have these are subject to change depending on feedback I get from people, because I'm new to Patreon. I don't know if these are ridiculously high, ridiculously low, or what. But basically, anyone pledging 10 a month will have early access to any and all stuff that I have via Patreon people, and I'll get into that. Keep in mind, it'll take me a while to figure out how to set that up. Anyone pledging 15 a month has the option to choose any small or indie type game that's available online, not necessarily via Steam, but online or on the PlayStation Store, that costs $10 or less. So if there's some little PlayStation game you want to see me play, like let's say, I don't remember, but I'm going to say that Final Fantasy Origins, let's say, for example. Let's say that's $10 or $9.99. You want to see me play Origins, 1, 2, or both. You say, hey, I'm pledging 15 a month. Here's a message. Will you please play Final Fantasy Origins? I want to see you beat 1 and 2. Then I will take 10 of that, or no, I will take 10 of the 15, because this is the 15 one. I hope I specified that. I'll take the 10 of the 15 to actually buy the thing. The other 5 will go into my Patreon fund for other things, and that'll go on, you know. For 30 a month, you can basically choose anything on the list of my games, which is available on my main Patreon site. It's off on the left-hand side. For right now, I just have the PlayStation 2 games that I own and the PS3 games that I have in physical copy, except for Far Cry 2, which is a download. I will add my downloaded ones later, But these are the ones that you pay 30 and I will do one of these. And again, you can prioritize that, oh, put this up, or start recording this now instead of what you're recording, you know? And as soon as it's done, I will put it up on a private thing that'll be available, again, to all my Patreon supporters. I have to figure out how that it works, so it might take a while, but I will pull it off somehow. And you'll all have early access for it. Meanwhile, for the rest of the world, it's going to go on my schedule, and when that day pops up, that video becomes available for everyone else. Meanwhile, you'll have seen it possibly months, even a year in advance, depending. I may put something up there. Oh, also, for 30, you can also specify that if I have one that I'm working on, because I'm working on any given time 5 or 6 different projects. You can basically say, hey, ooh, you're playing Mana Khemia. I've heard good things about that. Work on that above everything else. And I will put more time aside to finishing Mana Khemia over whatever else I'm working on. However, if I get a lot of these requests, I will tell you, hey, there's quite a line. Here's what's ahead of you. I'm trying to put everything in. If you want to change your pledge amount, let me know. You know? The reason that the games that I own, which cost me no money, by the way, because I already have them, the reason these are more expensive is because they tend to be longer games, because they're actual friggin' PlayStation 3 Blu-rays or PlayStation 2 DVDs or whatever that can be 60 plus hours, you know? And I figure that's where the big money's going to come in to get the better hardware. But, again, if I get a lot of feedback from people, either on YouTube or Dailymotion, or on the Patreon itself, then I will make adjustments as need be. And, hold on a moment. Sorry about that. Had to answer the cell phone real quick. Sorry. This is all off the cuff, so it's kind of staggered a bit. I will have a link to the Patreon in the YouTube and the Dailymotion things. Keep in mind, for the most part, this will be available only on YouTube because I don't know how to set this up at all on Dailymotion to have private stuff. But the videos that, when they hit the schedule, they will be up on Dailymotion as well. But the private stuff is all on YouTube. Again, this is totally voluntary. I feel to be perfectly honest, I kind of feel like crap even saying, hey, please, if you have the time, donate $1 or $2, you know, because I don't know. I just don't like asking for money at all. But it's a case of it could take me a year or more to get this kind of stuff on my own. So if you want to support me, please do. And again, you don't have to even put the $10 down. Just put $1 a month. I don't care. It's something towards the fund, you know. And for those who do it, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it's honestly, I would contribute to Patreon accounts myself if I had the freaking money. But if I had the money, I wouldn't really need the Patreon account, now would I? Anyway, I'm Kyrix, and see you next video. Bye-bye.